Each of us, at some point, feels like life is out of control, whether it's due to a lost job, a broken relationship, or just the fast pace of daily routines. These moments can leave us feeling weak and overwhelmed. But what if I told you there's a way not just to survive these challenges, but to thrive amidst them? Today, we'll dive into the wisdom of Seneca, an ancient philosopher who mastered the art of maintaining peace in a chaotic world. His teachings on Stoicism are not just philosophical reflections. They are practical strategies that have empowered leaders, thinkers, and individuals for centuries and can empower us today. By the end of this video, you'll have a set of Stoic principles to help you build mental resilience and regain control over your emotions and reactions, no matter what life throws at you. Stay with me as we explore how these ancient secrets can be applied to modern life for a calmer and more centered existence. If you appreciate what we're doing here and want to support the channel, the simple favor I ask is that you click the subscribe button. This helps us keep bringing content like this to you. I also encourage you not to skip any part of the video. If you're here, you're not like most people. You're someone who sees the value in going deeper. So consider yourself an exception. Lesson 1. Focus on one task at a time. Seneca's wisdom that being everywhere is being nowhere captures an important principle often overlooked in our modern race: to do more and be more. The idea of focusing on one task at a time is central to Stoic philosophy and can transform the way we approach our daily activities. In a world that celebrates the myth of multitasking, we need to pause and reconsider the effectiveness of this approach. When we try to do several things at once, we dilute our attention, which can lead to more mistakes and lower quality work. Marcus Aurelius, another respected Stoic philosopher, echoed this sentiment by advising, "Concentrate each minute, like a Roman, on doing what is before you with precision and seriousness, with kindness and fairness, and free yourself from all other distractions." This focus isn't just about improving productivity, it's about cultivating a mindset that values depth over breadth. Focusing on one activity at a time allows us to fully immerse ourselves in the task at hand, whether it's a work project, a hobby, or a meaningful conversation. This kind of deep work brings a greater sense of achievement and satisfaction. Plato might argue that this singular focus helps us access a higher form of beauty and truth in our work because it enables us to put forth our best effort and create something that resonates with ideals of goodness and excellence. Additionally, the psychological benefits of focusing on one task at a time are significant. It reduces the mental load on our brains, minimizing stress and improving our decision-making abilities. Aristotle, who valued the development of virtues through consistent right action, would likely support this practice as a way to cultivate the virtue of moderation or self-control, helping us regulate our desire for distractions and instant gratification. By practicing this focused approach, we not only follow in the footsteps of Stoic philosophers, but also align ourselves with modern psychology, which suggests that our brains aren't wired to handle multiple complex tasks at once. The quality of our work and our lives improves when we give our full attention to one thing at a time. Socrates' method of deep inquiry and dialogue, intensely focusing on a subject to the exclusion of everything else, exemplifies how powerful this method can be. Embracing this Stoic principle not only makes us more productive, it makes us more reflective, peaceful, and balanced individuals. It's a rejection of the chaos of modern multitasking and an acceptance of a more mindful and intentional way of being. As we practice this, we may find that not only do our results improve, but so does our overall well-being. Lesson 2. Practice philosophy to control your impulses. Seneca's insight that all the greatest torments are the result of an undisciplined mind reveals a deep truth about human nature. Our uncontrolled impulses can be a source of great emotional turmoil and suffering. Stoicism, which emphasizes the importance of self-control and rational thinking, provides us with a guide to confront this challenge. Instead of suppressing our emotions, which isn't healthy or sustainable, Stoicism teaches us to understand and manage them. The process of managing our impulses begins with self-awareness. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, famously said, "No man is free who is not the master of himself." This statement highlights the need for self-mastery to achieve true freedom and happiness. By becoming more aware of our impulses and the triggers that activate them, we're better prepared to deal with them rationally. This doesn't mean denying our feelings, but understanding them deeply enough to respond in ways that align with our long-term goals and values. In the realm of philosophy, Aristotle also spoke about the importance of moderating our impulses through the development of virtues. He believed that virtue lies in finding a balance between excess and deficiency, a concept known as the doctrine of the mean. For example, courage is the mean between recklessness and cowardice. Applying this to impulse control, we aim to find a balance between spontaneous reactions and complete inaction, striving for thoughtful and deliberate responses that reflect our best selves. Furthermore, practicing philosophy as a guide to controlling our impulses involves understanding our emotions and responding in a way that aligns with our values, cultivating rational thinking as a habit. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, also emphasized the importance of keeping the mind focused and calm amidst life's emotional storms. Stoic reflections, the importance of aligning thoughts with rational and virtuous principles. Stoicism often reflects on the importance of aligning thoughts with rational and virtuous principles. Seneca, one of the main Stoic philosophers, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not over external events. Understand this, and you will find strength." This perspective encourages us to focus on our internal reactions rather than external provocations, thereby gaining greater control over our impulses. By critically examining our impulses with the help of philosophical wisdom, we can begin to make choices not driven by fleeting emotions, but as a result of careful thought and reflection. This practice not only strengthens our mental fortitude, but also helps us live more harmoniously with our values. It leads to a life where decisions are made not in the heat of the moment, but with a clear and calm mind. The Stoic approach to impulse control involves cultivating an internal dialogue that constantly questions and evaluates our instinctive reactions. It's about making philosophy not just a subject we study, but a way of living our lives, allowing us to rise above immediate gratifications and achieve a deeper sense of fulfillment and purpose. This disciplined way of managing impulses isn't just about avoiding emotional pain. It's about creating a path to a more thoughtful and rewarding life. Lesson 3. Mental preparation, Seneca's advice. Seneca, who was a strong advocate for being prepared, said, "Practice in your mind exile, torture, war, shipwreck. All the situations of our human fate must be before our eyes." This advice might seem a bit extreme at first. After all, not all of us are navigating stormy seas or entering battles. However, what Seneca wants to convey here is the concept of mental preparation for the inevitable challenges of life, a cornerstone of Stoic resilience. Stoicism teaches us to anticipate and mentally rehearse for the worst, not to fill us with fear, but to lessen the shock and pain when difficulties arise. This practice is known as premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. It's about imagining the toughest scenarios, not to worry obsessively, but to be emotionally and mentally ready when life surprises us. Think of it this way. Athletes train under tough conditions to prepare for the stress of actual competition. Similarly, by mentally rehearsing challenging situations, we train our minds to handle stress and adversity with less panic and more calm. This Stoic practice helps us appreciate our current state. When we realize how much worse things could be, our daily problems seem less overwhelming. Applying this Stoicism doesn't mean living in constant anxiety about what might go wrong. On the contrary, it's about having a realistic awareness of potential negative outcomes. For example, if you're worried about job security, instead of spiraling into fear, you could start preparing by updating your resume, improving your skills, or exploring new career paths. That way, if the worst happens, you won't be caught off guard and will be better equipped to handle the situation. Moreover, this principle goes beyond personal crises. It's about maintaining a level of readiness for any significant changes in our lives, from financial instability to personal loss. By staying prepared, we not only shield ourselves from the initial shock, but also speed up our recovery and adaptation periods. We become less reactive and more responsive, a subtle yet powerful shift in how we handle life's uncertainties. Seneca's advice helps us cultivate a mindset where we're not overwhelmed by adversity but strengthened against it. This mental readiness isn't about expecting the worst, but being prepared to handle any situation, thus enhancing our resilience and mental strength. Embracing difficulties voluntarily. Another profound insight from Seneca is that difficulties strengthen the mind, just as physical exercise strengthens the body. This idea is at the heart of Stoicism and speaks to a practice that may seem strange at first: voluntarily embracing difficulties. It's about deliberately choosing to go through discomfort, not as a form of punishment, but as a way to build our mental resilience and increase our ability to face life's inevitable challenges. Think about what it means to voluntarily embrace difficulties. It's like an athlete training under tough conditions to prepare for a competition. The athlete knows that by pushing their limits in a controlled environment, they are better prepared for the stresses of the real event. Similarly, by choosing to confront difficulties head-on, whether it's taking on a challenging project at work, speaking in public, or even choosing to live more simply, we enhance our resilience and adaptability. The Stoic approach teaches us that by intentionally stepping out of our comfort zones, we're not just testing our limits, we're expanding them. For instance, if you fear public speaking, regularly putting yourself in situations where you have to present in front of others can transform your fear into skill over time. What once seemed impossible becomes manageable and eventually comfortable. This Stoic practice isn't about seeking suffering for its own sake, but recognizing that growth often comes from discomfort. Voluntarily embracing difficulties also means redefining our comfort zone. Lesson 4. Thresholds in a comfort-driven world. In a world that often prioritizes comfort and convenience, choosing the harder path may seem bold. However, Stoicism invites us to rethink what true comfort really is. Is it merely the absence of discomfort, or is it the presence of inner strength and peace that comes from knowing we can handle whatever life throws our way? By integrating this Stoic principle into our lives, we also learn to appreciate our current circumstances more. When we know we can endure more, we can enjoy life's simple pleasures with greater satisfaction. It's about building a life not on fleeing from difficulties, but on a foundation of resilience. This doesn't mean we seek suffering, but when adversity arises, we see it as a chance to practice our Stoic skills. By voluntarily accepting challenges, we also develop a strong sense of self-confidence. We prove to ourselves that we can overcome barriers, which in turn boosts our self-esteem. Every challenge we face and overcome is a reminder that we are stronger than we might have believed. Therefore, let's take inspiration from Seneca's teachings and challenge ourselves to step into the arena of voluntary difficulties. It's there that we'll find not just challenges, but the keys to a more resilient and fulfilling life. Lesson 5. Avoiding self-victimization. Seneca wisely pointed out that we often suffer more in our imagination than in reality. This statement is a clear reminder that our interpretation of events, not the events themselves, often causes us the most suffering. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking we are victims of our circumstances, leading to a mindset that everything happens to us rather than for us or with us. Stoicism teaches us the importance of perception. How we choose to see and interpret life's challenges greatly impacts our experience of them. If we see ourselves as passive victims, we surrender our control and power. However, if we view challenges as opportunities to grow and learn, we maintain control over our responses and are more likely to approach life actively. Consider a common scenario. Perhaps you didn't get a promotion at work, and your initial reaction is to feel excluded or treated unfairly. While these feelings are valid, Stoicism invites us to carefully examine our reactions. Are we seeing the situation merely as a loss and an injustice? What if we viewed it instead as an opportunity to seek feedback, improve our skills, or even reevaluate our career path to find something that better fits our aspirations? Avoiding self-victimization doesn't mean ignoring the injustices or difficulties we face. It means shifting our focus from what happens to us to how we respond to what happens. This shift is powerful as it moves us from a place of passive reaction to an active participation in our lives. We stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, What can I learn from this? And how can I grow from this situation?" Stoicism provides us with the tools to detach from our initial emotional responses and see the bigger picture. It's about understanding that while we can't always control external events, we can control our perceptions and reactions. This mental shift is liberating and empowering. It allows us to live with a sense of purpose and resilience, making us better prepared to face future challenges. Furthermore, practicing this Stoic principle improves our interactions with others. By refusing to see ourselves as permanent victims, we foster healthier relationships, marked by mutual respect and understanding, rather than blame and resentment. We become more compassionate as we recognize that just as we are responsible for our happiness, others are also responsible for theirs. By adopting the Stoic path, we free ourselves from the chains of self-victimization and take control of our story, acknowledging that we are the creators of our reality. This empowerment is at the heart of Stoicism and the key to a proactive and fulfilling life. Therefore, we choose to rise above victimization, not by denying our pain, but by reframing our stories with strength, wisdom, and resilience. Lesson 6. Taking time for solitude. Seneca's advice to retreat into yourself as much as possible highlights the value of solitude in Stoic philosophy. This guidance is not a call for isolation, but an invitation to engage in deep self-reflection and personal examination. In our fast-paced and interconnected world, the noise of everyday life can drown out our inner voice and make it hard to reflect on our personal growth and values. Stoicism teaches us that true solitude is a state of rich self-awareness and not just a physical condition of being alone. The benefits of spending time in solitude are profound and have been supported by philosophers throughout history. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, often wrote about the importance of introspection in his personal writings. He believed that understanding oneself is essential for living a life of virtue and purpose. He stated, "There is nowhere a man can find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This highlights the idea that solitude offers a safe space where we can escape the demands of the outside world and focus on our internal development. Moreover, the practice of solitude allows us to explore our thoughts and emotions without distraction. It gives us the space to process our experiences and align our actions with our principles. By regularly going through periods of solitude, we cultivate self-awareness and clarity of thought, which are essential for a fulfilling Stoic life. By dedicating ourselves to this practice, we develop a deeper understanding of who we are and what we truly want from life. This alignment is crucial for living authentically and achieving personal fulfillment. Aristotle also spoke about the importance of self-reflection in achieving eudaimonia, or true happiness. He believed that self-awareness and reflection are essential for living a meaningful and fulfilled life. Knowledge is key to developing virtues and living according to reason. In solitude, we can critically analyze our lives and make adjustments that align with our true values and aspirations. The Stoic practice of solitude also encourages us to build resilience. Epictetus emphasized the need for personal reflection to strengthen the mind in the face of adversity. He advised people to use solitude as a tool to reinforce their character and mental toughness, preparing them for life's inevitable challenges. He said, "It is in your power to withdraw whenever you wish. True peace comes from a well-organized mind and self-control." Moreover, spending time alone helps us appreciate our relationships and social interactions more deeply. When we return from periods of solitude, we often find that we have more to offer others, whether it's increased empathy, patience, or clarity. This not only enriches our personal relationships, but also enhances our contributions to our communities. The Stoic practice of seeking solitude is not an escape from life, but a way to deepen our engagement with it. By turning inward, we gain the clarity needed to act more thoughtfully in the world. Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epicurus provide us with a guide to use solitude, not as a refuge from life, but as a tool to live more fully and meaningfully. As we conclude today's discussion, it's clear that Stoic teachings are not just abstract theories stuck in ancient texts. They offer practical strategies that can be applied to our daily lives, empowering us to lead more reflective, resilient, and purposeful lives. Stoicism teaches us the value of focus, the power of self-control, the importance of preparation, the strength that comes from accepting difficulties, the liberation that comes from avoiding self-victimization, and the clarity that solitude can provide. Each of these principles challenges us to look inward and enhance our character, facing our lives with honesty and courage. Remember, Stoicism doesn't promise an easy life. Rather, it gives us the tools to face life's challenges more effectively. It encourages us to see every obstacle as an opportunity to practice virtue and every difficulty as a chance to test our resilience. By applying these Stoic practices, we're not just surviving, we're thriving, cultivating a life of peace and fulfillment from within. In the spirit of Stoicism, let's continue exploring how to apply this ancient wisdom to navigate the complexities of modern life. Let's strive to be better than we were yesterday, living with intention and virtue. If you're interested in continuing this journey, check out one of the videos on the screen now. They're designed to help you dive deeper into the practical applications of Stoicism in everyday life. Thank you for spending your time with us. We appreciate your curiosity and willingness to grow alongside us. Remember, the path to wisdom is long and challenging, but every step you take is a step toward a more meaningful life. So keep moving forward with courage. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more videos like this.